a game we have in store for you today, live here from the Academy Stadium. It's Manchester City taking on rivals Manchester United. And derbies always have an extra bite about them. But there's more than bragging rights at stake in this one today.
The Manchester Derby. There's two sides to every story. This one is either red or it's blue. One person's triumph is another person's agony. There's elation, desperation, jubilation and tribulation. And when the dust settles, only one will rule Manchester. It's one city, two teams. Two teams fighting for one city. Pride is at stake as red meets blue. You never cross the divide. Well, some do. This is the Manchester Derby.
Well, if today is anything like that 2-2 draw earlier in the season, we are going to be in for a treat. Manchester City will be keen to get back to winning ways, having suffered a 1-0 defeat to Chelsea last Sunday. That result ending a run of 5 games unbeaten for Gareth Taylor's side. Manchester United, however, are right in the title mix. They're currently third in the table, 4 points behind second place Chelsea, who drew 1-1 against Arsenal on Friday night. The Red Devils are unbeaten in their last 5 games. It's Manchester City versus Manchester United in the Barclays Women's Super League, and kick-off here is just over 10 minutes' time. And joining me for this one she's played in a big game or two. It's England's all-time cap player, Farrell Williams, and alongside us, Willie Kirk, former Everton manager and actually assistant manager under Casey Stoney for Manchester United. Let me start with you, Willie. The importance of this game. It's actually remarkable, the journey that this Manchester United team have been on. I looked at their first season, the gap, 17 points. The second season is close to 8 points, and now they're 5 points above this Manchester City side.
Yeah, they're certainly on a journey. The Manchester Derby's become such a big date in the WSL calendar, and even more so now. It's not just a Manchester Derby today, but it's a massive game in terms of Champions League prospects and as you say, for the United title aspirations, because they are still very much in it.
Yeah, you say about those Champions League aspirations. This Manchester City side, Farah, they've not finished outside the top 2 in 7 seasons. And where you look where they are, there's pressure on this team now.
Yeah, look, Manchester City, from the investment they made when they formed this team in the WSL, there's always been pressure on them to achieve and win things. Look, they've come into the season with numerous amount of injuries and they've really struggled to come to any form. They're now starting to get their big players back on the pitch. You've seen the likes of Lucy Bond returning, Steph Houghton, who's out again today with injury. But it's these types of players that are used to winning. And look, City have gone on a good run of form now, and I can see them continuing that. Yes, they slipped up last weekend, but I can see them going on a good run of form between now and the end of the season and finishing in that top 3.
You say about getting all those players back, but after this game, Willie, they're off on international duty. As a manager, will you be worried about losing those players again?
It's a terrible 2 weeks for a manager because you lose all control. You're more than half your squad disappears. You're checking match reports. Your players are being subbed during international games, and you're worried it's an injury. It's just, it's a real terrible time until you see them in the flesh again.
It's like, you've got a big summer ahead, but you want them to stay home. You want them to stay home. Well, we'll have more from you two in a sec. Let's hear what the managers are thinking ahead of today's game. They've been speaking to Kelly Summers.
Ellen White makes her first start in around a month, and she's got the captain's armband as well. She relishes these big occasions, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's a big player for us, Ellen, particularly what we're trying to achieve. And, she shows really good leadership qualities in the absence of Steph. But, of course, we've got Alex in there. We've got different leaders in Lucy as well. So, yeah, we've got good experience on the pitch today.
The last WSL meeting between these two teams was a feisty affair. It's a derby. Do you think we should expect the same today, particularly with a sellout crowd here?
I think so, yeah. It's great to see the supporters back and the good crowd today, and it's already building up nicely. So, yeah, you always get feisty affairs and people wanting the bragging rights. So I think we'll see some interesting tackles early on. But, yeah, we need to keep our head and keep our objectives in mind when we're starting out in the game.
Mark, with Chelsea and Arsenal drawing on Friday, how big an opportunity is this for your side here this afternoon?
It's a huge opportunity. But it doesn't matter about Arsenal or Chelsea. It's a huge opportunity regardless. Very, very difficult task in front of us, we know that. But we've got to give what we always do, which is 100% in everything that we do. And all of our star teams have no regrets in any of the games that we have left. Keep doing what we do, keep trying to dictate the game as much as you can, knowing that Manchester City on their own turf will have parts of the game. So we've got to manage that and try and be as effective when we have the ball.
Interesting from the managers right there, Farah. How do this Manchester United team, Mark Skinner was just saying about managing the game?
Yeah, look, there's going to be parts of the game where Manchester United are going to have to take the game to Manchester City, and there'll be times where momentum will flip, and they'll have to, in those moments when they're not in possession of the ball, know how to control it. And I think, look, they've started to show their maturity levels, this Manchester United team, and it's no coincidence they're now getting the results with that.
Okay, well, lots of star names on show today. One of those leading the line, England's all-time goal scorer, Ellen White, also leading the line in wearing that captain's armband. She sat down with a chat with Joe Curry earlier this week.
Ellen, it's always great to sit down and chat to you. This season, Manchester City, they've had ups, they've had downs. How would you sum up the season you've had so far?
I think you've summed it up quite well, to be honest. There was obviously a time when we couldn't pick up the right results, and yeah, we had a lot of injuries, and a big part of our spine of our team was obviously missing. But we collectively stuck together, trained hard, worked together, and tried to turn our season around, really. And obviously, yeah, we are really disappointed with that result against Chelsea, but that doesn't waver our belief. We will still keep fighting to the very end. It is challenging when you're not winning games, or that things aren't quite going right in games. And we never got on each other's backs. If anything, it definitely pushed us together as a team. That's one of the reasons why I do love this group. Obviously, to be in Europe, that's one of the main reasons why I came to Man City, to be fighting for European places, to be playing in Champions League games. So, that's a big priority for us. We're not too far off, and we'll just keep fighting and believing and taking each game as it comes, especially in the league. It's one of the most competitive WSLs that's probably ever been, which is definitely exciting. So I don't think you can rule out the title just yet.
You've personally achieved so much in your career, and particularly over the last few months. We've seen you get 100 caps for England. We've seen you become England's record goal scorer. In terms of your career, how much more do you want to go on to achieve?
I feel really honoured to have reached 100 caps, obviously to get that record. But yeah, there's still so much I want to achieve. I want to achieve something really special in an England shirt. Maybe I get on people's nerves because I want to keep doing, I want to run around, I want to help the team, I want to score goals, and I want to develop and I want to win things. So yeah, that's quite a lot, isn't it, actually, that I want to achieve, really. So,
that's a long old list.
Yeah, that is quite a long list. But, I've got phenomenal teammates. So obviously to be selected for England would be amazing, to be part of that journey and to continue playing for City, really.
How would you describe the rivalry with Manchester United?
It's feisty, it's competitive, which I like in games. I want to get stuck in, I want to get involved. It's going to be, a really competitive game.
And Manchester City still the best team in Manchester?
Of course.
Yeah, Ellen White, a great player for both club and country. Managed to score 4 goals this season, just 2 in the WSL, so she'll be hoping to get back on the score sheet today. But actually, it's not Ellen White that you want to start with, Farah Williams. It's another star named Jess Park that you want to talk about.
Yeah, I think, look, I've picked out Jess Park in particular. I think she's a good young player, and when Manchester City have had these injuries, she's a young player that's come on the scene. You see her picking up a central position here, and just the composure in front of goal. I think what I like most about Jess Park is when she gets on the ball in these 1v1, she is so quick at dribbling past players with the ball at her feet, and she's a fantastic talent. I'm really excited to see her come up against a very good fullback today in Hannah Blundell at Man United, and I think it'll be a test for her, but I'm looking forward to it.
And winning those individual battles, how key will they be? And actually on the Manchester United team, a player that you know all too well, Willie, is Ella Toone.
Yeah, obviously Tooney made that move from City to United, which was maybe went under the radar because she was so young, but over the last few years she's really grown into her own, and She'll probably play in a wider area today, but she's really effective, both coming from wide areas into the pocket and also in central roles. So she's shown real versatility, she's shown real quality, and she's getting her rewards now in terms of England call-ups, and she's becoming an important player for club and country.
Okay, Farah, just a quick one. Where will this game be won or lost today, do you think?
It's a difficult one. I would say probably in wide areas. I think, you know, the wide players for both teams today are, you know, is where I can see the key moments happening. So in either wide area, I think is going to be crucial today.
Okay, well, it promises to be an exciting one. And with no further ado, let's get you over to the first half. It's Manchester City taking on Manchester United here at the Academy Stadium. Your commentary team for this one is former lead striker Lucy Ward alongside Vicky Sparks.
Thank you, Alex. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a very lively Academy Stadium. Manchester United have never beaten Manchester City in the Women's Super League. Then again, they've never finished above their rivals either, but that is where they sit now as they push to make this a groundbreaking season. The visitors lie third in that final Champions League place, 5 points above their hosts. And make no mistake, United are not out of this title race yet either. Neither are City, according to their striker, Ellen White, who leads City out today. But in reality, they know that to keep those faint hopes alive, nothing but a win here will do in front of this sellout crowd.
Yeah, look at Manchester City. They've left themselves a real lot to do to win the WSL this season. Mostly in part to do with their injuries, but also their early season form wasn't that good. But I do think they'll have a say in who does win the WSL, and they're desperate for that third Champions League slot, and I don't think they can afford to lose today if they want to get that third place.
England's record goal scorer Ellen White returns in one of 3 City changes, replacing top scorer Khadija Shaw, who's on the bench. Vicky Losada comes in for Caroline Weir, who scored 2 Puskás-nominated goals against United in the past, but only amongst the subs today. And experienced Australia defender Alana Kennedy is preferred to 18-year-old Ruby Mace at centre-half. January's WSL Player of the Month, Leah Galton, is missing for United after suffering a concussion in training. She's replaced by Vilde Boer Riise in their only change. Still no Aoife Mannion, who is a big miss at the back. Denmark's reigning Player of the Year, Sina Brun, will be hoping to get off the mark for United after joining last month. And ahead of kick-off, a special moment for Manchester City's young goalkeeper Ellie Roebuck. Remarkable achievement, 100 Manchester City appearances. She reached the mark last match in the defeat at Chelsea. She is still just 22 years old. Joined their academy back in 2015 from Sheffield United, and Lucy has had to establish herself here ahead of some very good goalkeepers, including Karen Bardsley, England's former #1.
Yeah, I think she's probably learnt a lot from Karen Bardsley. But when she came in, she just looked assured, just as a young player, as a young goalkeeper. She's the right physical build, and I think she's come on leaps and bounds. And I think her missing early on in the season had a massive effect on some of the results that City had.
Kirsty Dowell, our woman in the middle. And there is Ellen White in for Khadija Shaw. Interesting call from Gareth Taylor. 12 goals Shaw has scored this season, only 3 in the WSL. She is in good form, but as he touched on in the pre-match interview, it's White's leadership that could be so crucial in this Manchester derby.
Listen, I'm surprised that Ellen White hasn't played more. I presumed that she'd had some sort of a knock in the games that she sat on the bench, because if you want a goal, or if you want a player that plays up front and holds the ball up and brings players into play, Ellen White's your player.
The players take the knee at the start of this Manchester derby. The message against racism still clear. So the 9th Manchester derby in the women's game. City have never lost in the league to United. Will Mark Skinner's side make history this afternoon? Or can Gareth Taylor's players close the gap to United in the table and keep those flickering title hopes alive, even if ever so faintly? And it's a relatively new rivalry in terms of actual on-the-pitch action in the women's game. September 2019, the first time the Manchester sides met, but even in that short time, Lucy, we've seen some great matchups between the two, including this season.
Absolutely, and also the fans are back in. It's a massive thing. I think that it just adds to the energy that the players get. And, you know, there's a lot of fans from Manchester United. I've heard them singing before the game, but these City fans are loyal and they make this Academy Stadium a difficult place to come.
Yes, they played at the Etihad. Before that was the inaugural Women's Derby in front of over 31,000. But the only match between these two at the Academy Stadium behind closed doors last season because of the pandemic in the league. The first home league encounter at the Academy Stadium in front of fans, and they are hoping for a record crowd as well. Manchester City hoping to keep that faint title push alive, but it is also about the Champions League places. As we were hearing before the match, they haven't finished outside the top two since 2014. That was their first season in the WSL. They need a top 3 finish, otherwise it's no European football next season. Looking for the bright early starts. Easy touch early on for Mary Earps.
Quite a surprising tentative start, really. United let City have it at the back, but were in position to pounce if they needed to. I think out of possession, United looked like they're sort of a 4-4-2, a 4-4-1-1. But City liked to get the ball wide, and we saw then a glimpse there from Lauren Hemp on the left.
She's had yet another outstanding season. Lauren Hemp, the reigning PFA Young Player of the Year, and so has this woman too for Manchester United. Ella Toone to Zellum. Now Blundell, pressured by Bronze. Free kick.
Now, watching City against Chelsea last week, they didn't really get the wide players and include the full-backs in that forward enough. I think Chelsea played well against them. So United will have watched that. And that if you want to stop City scoring, then you have to stop them in those wide areas.
Nice try, Jess Park and Ellen White. No way is that 10 yards. And our referee, Kirsty Dowell, is making that very point. Zellum, the United captain, the set-piece specialist, will send this in. The flicked header away by Greenwood. United corner.
They're not bad set pieces, Manchester United, and we have to have a mention for the conditions. It's very difficult, not just for us up here in the gantry, but obviously the players on the pitch. So we should see the ball move about a bit, but you know, watching United at set pieces have been very strong this season.
Manchester United have been so proficient from corners in the WSL this season. No side has scored more from these situations. And it's a difficult one to deal with for City. The effort eventually blocked. Stokes should be able to clear. Very calm under pressure from Batia. Now here is Losada. City still under real pressure. Losada desperately trying not to give away the corner and wins the free kick.
The win's actually with United this half, so it'll be difficult for City to get the ball away in the air at all, have to pass it out, which they're obviously used to. But see whether United can use that advantage in these initial stages.
And the high press early on from Manchester United. Here is Georgia Stanway for City, became their record goal scorer last month, overtaking Nikita Paris. Here is Lucy Bronze, eases her way past two. White's making the run through the centre. Bronze saw her, can't find her. Calmly away by Zellum initially, and then Torres Dottier with the distance. Walsh. White again making the run. Park is there as well. Park will meet it. Looking for White. And the volley just over by the Spain midfielder Vicky Losada.
There's only really Ellen White in the box there as the ball came in from both sides, from the left side from Hemp over to a opposite winger. You see there, no City bodies in the area, but it comes out to Losada. That dipped really. You can see right at the end, just it dipped. It's a good strike from Losada.
Oh, she scored the opener inside 2 minutes in Manchester City's Continental Cup loss to Manchester United back in November. Not too far away from reaching the deadlock. Here is Kennedy. Under pressure from Russo. Won't keep it in. Interesting decision to play her ahead of the teenage Ruby Mace, who has very much impressed for Manchester City this season when she's been called upon, and did so in their defeat at Chelsea last time out as well.
Yeah, I think that as a young player, I think Gareth Taylor's just using her not as much as he probably could do, maybe arguably not as much as he should do, but she had a pretty assured performance the last couple of games, and she's dealing with the Chelsea forwards was very, very difficult for her. But Anna Kennedy, she's an international experience, and maybe he was just looking for his older heads today.
Yes, he has plumped for experience, for leadership in this Manchester derby. That defeat against Chelsea last time out, Manchester City's first in 10 games. They have really picked up this season after a terrible start. That's not a great pass from Lasada. Greenwood away for City, Stanway. Now Stokes. Hemp. Does very well to get past Battier. White is off through the centre again. Park in space on the right. Hemp still going. Now Park. Ball across. What a miss. What a miss from Lauren Hemp.
Tell you what, it's fantastic play initially from Lauren Hemp, and it's something they didn't really get going last week against Chelsea. Getting the ball wide, and it ends up at Jess Park, and these fullbacks for United will know they're in a game, and it's a great ball in. And it bounced up, didn't it? I think she was sure that she was going to put it in the back of the net, and it was a terrific cross. Everybody watched it go, apart from Lauren Hemp, but she had to get more on it. Some miss.
10 goals this season for the England international, 2 in her last 3 games. But regardless of form, which is very good, she absolutely would have expected to stick that away, whether she was in good form or not. Massive chance for City, squandered. And coming forward again once more, though. This is a bright start from the home side. Stanway's ball intercepted. Battier to Zellum. Now Lads.
Gareth Taylor wanted Vicky is for his centre midfielders to be full of energy and get off the back of the United, and that's what they did there. They've done it a couple of times now.
Here is Bronze. Sada, well, pressured by Lads. Bronze takes charge. You can see how the wind is affecting things for Manchester City. They're all really holding up. Lovely control by Park. She is so blossoming this season.
I think she's probably one of the better. Her and Hemp have been potentially the best young players around at the moment. She's still learning, but she's a threat down this right-hand side, and if they can get the ball to her quickly, which they have done in the opening minutes, then a real threat.
Kennedy. Here is Greenwood. To her England counterpart Stokes. 2 players who are in the squad for the Arnold Clark Cup, which starts next week. England's taking part in the friendly tournament with Canada, the Olympic gold medalists, Spain, one of the dark horses for the Euros, and Germany as well. So we see this chance once again, Lucy.
Yeah, it's a good cross. She chooses, she makes good decisions, Jess Park, and there's not really much Earps could have done about that. Just praying that Hemp would miss it, which she did, but getting in front of goal early on, I think they've shown the dominance, haven't they, in the possession. It's a massive chance.
They conceded the free kick, Manchester City, but it has been the brighter start from the home side.
City's home form has not actually been that good this season. They've got a lot of the home games remaining, and this upsurge in form in the second half of the season, they'll want to continue at home, starting today.
Nice play by Boarisa, collected by Kennedy. Now Roebuck closed down by Toon, very calmly done by Ellie Roebuck. And City play out from the back. Yes, you mentioned that home form, just one win in their last 5 league home games for Manchester City. That was 5-0 against Aston Villa. They're looking for the breakthrough here, though. Here is White, saw the run of Stanway. Challenge came in. City corner.
United are pressing quite well further up the pitch, but they're not all connected together, and there's big gaps between the defence and the midfield, and City at the moment are finding those gaps and again get themselves in a good position, and they may rue these misses. Manchester United just need to sort that out and make sure they're more compact.
Booze for the corner taker, Alex Greenwood, the former Manchester United captain, takes it short in front of the travelling fans. And City lose concentration and will be disappointed with that.
It's quite difficult. Alex Greenwood was playing in a mask, obviously, to protect an injury, but that must be really hard to play with that on in terms of your peripheral vision and concentration. And she's coming into some form now as well. Has had so many different partners at centre-back. It's so difficult when that happens.
Yeah, centre-half has been a position in which City have struggled this season in terms of injury. Steph Horton, their captain, out once more. Real disappointment for City and for England as well. I mean, in the run-up to this home Euros that England, of course, will be hoping to go all the way in this summer. You'll be able to watch live and exclusive on the BBC. It's not ideal build-up at all for her, and that's an understatement. She'd much rather be out there on the pitch rather than sitting there in the stands.
She's a massive loss, and I think both as a centre-half partner for Greenwood, but also her leadership. Her and Ellen White, Lucy Bronze, Kira Walsh, who've all been out with injuries at various points and have affected the team's form.
Free kick goes Manchester United's way. Bronze away for City. Here is Zella. Torres Dottir. United, of course, have had their own struggles with injuries at centre-half. Millie Turner out once more. Bringing in Diane Caldwell, who starts again today, the Republic of Ireland international. Stanway still down for City. Cleared away by Stokes. And now our referee, Kirsty Dow, will stop play.
Yeah, that was just a challenge with Bruin there. The ball was there to be won, but it's just a stretch out from both players, and Stanway was caught by Bruin. That's the first time we've really seen United have a passage of possession. They've played so well this season in certain games. Just caught, and she looked straight at the referee. Why have you not given a free kick for that? She's on the floor first, and it's a strong challenge, isn't it? Takes the ball on the leg of Stanway.
Well, he is unbeaten, Mark Skinner, in the 2 Manchester derbies since arriving last summer. 1-1 in the Continental Cup in November, very late winner in that one, and a 2-2 draw back in October, which was an outstanding match. Manchester City went down to 10 players. Georgia Stanway, who's currently down, sent off for a thigh-high challenge on Leah Galton. That was on 35 minutes at 0-0. City took the lead, United went 2-1 up, and then White scored late on. Huge opportunity for Manchester United to get that first league win over Manchester City, and you wonder whether that chance will be in the back of their minds here today.
Yeah, Max Skinner's done a fabulous job. So difficult shoes to fill in Casey Stoney, who had established herself as United manager and brought the team up from the Championship, but he's got his own fantastic credentials as a manager, and it's taken his time for the girls to understand how he wants to play, but I think in the last 3 or 4 games they're really in tune with his setup, both in and out of possession, and you can see that from the results that they've had.
So possession returns to Manchester City. And here is Ellie Roebuck.
United are set up in like a 4-2-4 when City have had it. They let them have it to a certain point, and then they just jump to press to try and win it. And no City like to play out from the back.
Yes, Wildeboer Arisa in a very advanced position, just putting the press. Here she is there on that Manchester City back line. Sina Bruin, straight at Roebuck, and Toon not quite close enough to take advantage.
It's the first time they've won it back, United, and moved it quickly up the pitch, and I think they brought her in, Verna, because they wanted an out-and-out striker who first thought is shoot at goal. That's exactly what she did there, and you just want that from your number 9, whose first thought is, I want to score.
Yes, joined on loan Brun from Lyon in January. Had scored 7 goals in 20 appearances for them this season, but not a regular starter. It's hard to be a regular starter at Lyon. Something that Lucy Bronze knows only too well. She did manage it, though. As the decision goes Manchester City's way.
That's what United have to handle on those, that right and left side. Jess Park, as soon as she gets it, she's direct, she'll engage the defender. She'll run very quickly with the ball.
Kennedy under pressure from Borisa. Roebuck plays it out to Alex Greenwood. Saw the run of Park. Here she is. Now Lasada, right with the run again through the centre, away by Torres Dottir, forward by Bronze. Salem with the clearance. Manchester City will come again. Bronze. Lovely back heel to Lasada. And this is the comfort in possession that we expect from Manchester City.
Yeah, I just saw a run by Lasada there. The outside centre midfielder goes and joins with a winger.
Here is Hemp. Actually, right with her, and Hemp turning her inside out. It's brilliant from Lauren Hemp. White stretching. Earps claiming.
It's such a threat when you've got that. Baje down that right-hand side, the right back, has been one of the standout performers for United this season, but such a difficult competitor. Lauren Hemp against her, moves the ball well, is determined, and then she looks up, makes a good decision. She sees Ellen White's run in that near post. It's just evaded.
It was the collision with Torres Dottir rather than White that left Earps a little the worse for wear. Zellem with the header. White trying to ease her off it, and does so. Hayley Ladd was the player with the arms up there, appealing for the free kick. Not given, but United have it with Borisa. Zellem. Now Blundell. 2. Blundell continued to run. Easy for Roebuck to leave.
So United there start to go and attack, and just faced with the compact shape of City, who recover really well. By Kira Walsh, who just sits in front of the 2 centre-backs and just stops the passing lanes into the front, and it does have an effect on teams in terms of when they look up who they can then pass it to. United just need to move the ball quicker.
Here is Bronze. All the way back to Ellie Roebuck. Will be fascinating to see whether it's Ellie Roebuck or Mary Earps, her counterpart at the other end today, that gets the nods from Serena Wiegmann for the Arnold Clark Cup. Earps deputising for Roebuck over the autumn internationals. With Roebuck out injured, this Roebuck and Bronze winning the throw there for City. Those 2 players first times in the squad under the England coach Serena Wiegmann, and that goalkeeping question's a big one.
Yeah, it's a massive one. I think Roebuck's been in the squad a few times more than Earps. Earps probably should have been in it earlier, I think, because I think she's shown her class over the last couple of seasons for Manchester United. But it's a good place to be, isn't it, when you don't really know which of your fantastic goalkeepers to pick. It's been pretty low-key, hasn't it, to start? I expected, I think that both teams really don't want to lose this game, and they're just feeling out the opposition to work out ways that they can win it. Needs something to happen to get these crowd going.
There's a 5-point gap between them. Manchester United starting this match round in 3rd. Manchester City all the way down in 6th. Here is Stanway for City. Deflected efforts. Easy for Earps.
That's the area, isn't it? That's where City have got the joy. Those behind the full-backs trying to isolate the full-backs of Manchester United, one-on-one with either Park or Hemp, and And then looking to the wide centre midfielders, Stanway on the left and Lasada on the right to just join.
Powerfully away by Greenwood. And a little too powerful there from Hayley Ladd.
Yeah, they missed Hayley Ladd. She wasn't in the team for quite a few games early on in the season. It's the sort of player that you only notice how good she is when she's not playing. Sits in front of the two centre-backs next to Zellum, allows Zellum to go forward, but it's just had that added steel.
Long forward by Greenwood. Here is him. Stokes on the overlap. Hemp. Stanway. Kennedy trying to thread the eye of the needle, looking for Park. Or Arisa will chase the Australia international, who clears. Park's back heel is nice, but won't keep it in. United throw. 2. Walsh is there. Now here is Hemp. But again, the best way to describe it perhaps is patient from Manchester City.
Yeah, I mean, they're finding ways to get in, aren't they? But they'll keep it and they'll have some sort of structured possession if they can't get in.
And this is where they're dangerous, when they get Hemp away down that left. Stanway. Lasada. They were shy to shoot. Finds Park instead. Over the head of White. Battier knew that Hemp was lurking. Russo helps out too.
I think Lundell and Battier just need a bit of help doubling up on Hemp. Russo's coming back, but she's not a natural defender. They thought it's forward, and the same with Toon on this left-hand side.
Stokes to Hemp. Now Bronze, taking up that central position, as she likes to do. There's a hint of Joao Cancelo about this Manchester City right-back. Kennedy had to be on her toes there. Here is Hemp once again, the wind holding up the ball. Stanway. Kennedy. Now Bronze. Lasada. The outlet of Park once more. White. Lasada. Vital block. Lad away. That would have been lovely from City.
Yeah, but they're getting the ball wide really well, City, but then the wingers look up and there's only Ellen White in the box and she's surrounded by 3 or 4 United players. They have to commit to get the centre midfielders up and beyond. Did well there, Lasada, in the end.
Bronze forwards, too much on it for him. United have the throw.
That's where they expect the centre midfielders getting up there. And I just think that it was just crowded out in the end. And it's good defending in the end by Caldwell.
Well, she has scored 7 goals this season, Vicky Lasada, Spain international, not involved in the national setup at the moment for a good while. So won't be playing in the Arnold Clark Cup. You will be able to listen to coverage that on the BBC, every match live on BBC Radio 5 Live or 5 Sports Extra. Stokes for City. Tried to pull it back to Stanway. Toon was alert to the danger. Lasada with the foot in. Hemp. Stokes once more. Lasada. Now Hemp. Plenty of sky blue shirts in there. She can't find one. Russo wins the free kick.
Did well there, Russo. They're putting quite a lot of pressure on Manchester United's penalty area there, Manchester City, but there's no way through at the moment. Big chance for her earlier on, but Russo will definitely prefer to be going the other way. But when you come away to City, you know you're going to have to do some defending, particularly against their wide players.
Oh, she's a childhood Manchester United fan, Alessia Russo. You have several childhood fans of both teams in this Manchester derby, which just gives it that extra edge. Although I'm sure all of the players out there with the sky blue or the red shirt on know how much this match means. That's why it's a sellout crowd at the Academy Stadium. And it means a lot in the race, particularly for the Champions League. But Manchester United in particular still very much in this title race. 6 points behind leaders Arsenal, currently 5 with the scoreline as they are, having played the same number of games. I thought it was remarkable, Barnes won't keep that in, that coming into this match round in the WSL, before the Chelsea against Arsenal game on Friday night, you could still get odds of 100 to 1 for Manchester United to win the title. They're sitting in 3rd, as we say, currently 5 points behind the leaders Arsenal, just under half the season to play. It just shows the dominance of Arsenal and Chelsea this season, and the fact that Manchester United have never won a major trophy. This only their 4th season as a professional club, counting against them, but results and performances on the pitch suggests the odds could well be shorter than that.
Yeah, they should definitely be shorter than that. Somebody's not paying attention, and I think United have had a fantastic season. I think they've grown into it. I think they've had some wobbles at the start of it, but they're now at the stage where they feel comfortable going into games against the big hitters like City, like Arsenal and Chelsea, and probably now consider themselves to be up there and be talked about in the same sentence as those big hitters, which is exactly where United wanted to be a few years ago.
And it's why they reformed their senior women's side back in 2018. They wanted to emulate the likes of City and Chelsea, who in particular have put in a lot in terms of resources in the last decade or so. Arsenal had always been there or thereabouts, but have had to up their spending as well, as the women's game has turned fully professional in the top flight. That, well stolen, side down there by Greenwood. Well, will she blame the mask there, Alex Greenwood?
I think it was quite late, wasn't it, in terms of the challenge. Lad had got a touch, but I think there you got to credit United's press. They did really well against City. It can't be easy to have that on your face, and particularly as a centre-back, when you've got to make decisions where if you make the wrong one, it could lead to a goal.
So free kick, Manchester United. Zellem drifts it in. Torres Dottir was up there. Roebuck claims confidently.
Yeah, starting position's really good. Roebuck, she aggressively comes out. She's confident. 2 really good goalkeepers on show today, but she needed to do that because the wind was against her. Teammates just rely on that. And it's great from Jess Park. We watched her quite a lot, haven't we?
Free kick, Manchester United. And they're just starting to come back into this a little bit more, and we know that set pieces are their strength.
Yeah, it's chipping away, isn't it, at this City defence. They're quite happy to let City have it, where you know, it's not going to hurt United.
Zellem with the free kick into the arms of Roebuck. Will he feel that they are edging their way back into this Manchester United?
Yeah, I think he'll come here, know it's going to be a tight game, and just make sure that his team don't concede early. That's happened, but now they need to show a little bit more of their attacking prowess, which just edging into it.
Stanway wins the free kick. But you're right, Lucy Ward, there is a tension to this match. The importance of this 9th Manchester derby in the women's game. Manchester United looking for their first league victory over Manchester City. Greenwood's delivery. Away before it can reach Bronze. Hemp with the effort blocked. Won't quite fall to park. That's very well defended by Hannah Blundell. Just took her eye off it. Stretching to keep it in. Gives possession back to City. Torres Dottir all the way back to Mary Earps.
And just not finding that outlet when they do win it back, United. They are devastating when on the counter, when they connect passes, but I think City recover so well and counter press that it's difficult for United to get themselves into City's half, but that will be the route. They win it back when City have got players forward.
Blundell. Interception by Kennedy. Here is Hemp. And a lovely turn. This time, Batcher gets the better of her. That's developing into a real battle between Ona Batcher and Lauren Hemp.
She's had such a, like I say, in the Spanish setup now, you know, she usually plays left back. She's left footer, will play that side, and he likes to switch his full backs, Mark Skinner, and change the angle. But that is a real matchup between those two top-class players.
Yeah, she is in the Spain squad for the Arnold Clark Cup, Ona Batcher. All looking for Brun. Walsh has it for City. Stokes. Now Stanway. We mentioned the struggles that Manchester City have had at home in the league. They've not struggled at home in the league against Manchester City, winning their 2 encounters, one here at the Academy Stadium, one at the Etihad. Aggregate score of 4-0, so without conceding. Park's delivery, Hemp was in there. Close.
Terrific play by Park, quick feet, just manages to get herself a yard of space. Works really well with Bronze, just takes it away there. You see just a right foot over it to her opposite winger, Lauren Hemp, and it's a difficult one, that, judging it as the wind's taking it, but trying to get it over Mary Earps and under the bar. These two are definitely the standout in terms of City players.
Surprise space here for Burisa. Now Toon. Lovely footwork. And a vital header by Greenwood. Manchester United all of a sudden looking dangerous in the 6-yard box. They keep it alive. Russo. Greenwood is there once more.
It's all about showing that bit of quality. And it's the first really we've seen. Ella Toon has had such a fantastic season, getting in pockets of space where she hurts defences, and that's a great cross. Good piece of footwork, and that's a chance for United. It's great defending from Greenwood.
Russo. Roebuck watches it, and it is behind.
You see, City have completely dominated possession in this game, but I think United have been quite happy and have limited them to a few chances, and they've had possession in areas that can't hurt United. So you sort of look at that, and City need to do more with the ball.
Well, this the first of 2 Manchester derbies in quick succession. Mark Skinner's side will once again face off against Gareth Taylor's players. In the FA Cup 5th round, you'll be able to watch that live on BBC 2 on Sunday the 27th of February. And they are in the midst of a huge run of fixtures, Manchester City. They beat Tottenham in the Continental Cup semi-final, lost at Chelsea in the WSL. This game, of course, then the away trip to Manchester United, and then Chelsea in the Continental Cup final. Chelsea a side to whom they've lost 3 times already this season. But again, it's a final. Yes, Chelsea are the holders, but Manchester City have pedigree, as they do in the men's game in the League Cup. And it should be a great occasion once more between 2 of the best sides in English football. At Stanway, again looking lively. She breaks down that left-hand side corner.
It's better from Stanway going up and beyond, and otherwise Ellen White just ends up isolated. That sort of run just begs for the pass to be made.
Again, the sky blue shirts packing that 6-yard box. White with the header and the scream of frustration.
She doesn't need many chances, Ellen White, and she knows for her that's quite a big one. And that sort of run across the front, you see there, just getting their head to it, and that's not too far away, but it's a trademark header from her in that sort of area from a set piece.
Well, she has scored 4 goals this season, Ellen White. England's record goal scorer, including that late equaliser against Manchester United in October, when Jess Park hit the bar courtesy of a fabulous save by Mary Earp. So unfortunate, that goal for her. She tipped the effort from Park, which was outstanding, onto the crossbar, came down, bounced off her head, fell to White, who tapped in. How's your luck, Manchester United? She has been so impressive for United, not just this season, but throughout their time in the WSL, ever present since arriving from Wolfsburg back in 2019 in the league.
Yeah, she's a good character as well. I think you need those sort of leaders in your group, and they've made some shrewd signings over the last season or so, Manchester United, particularly in this January window as well. I think Byrne will end up being a useful signing from here to the end of the season in terms of goal scoring.
Here come Manchester City. Again, there's space for Park. Again, she's found. Can't control. And again, Blundell does well, but she's looking so dangerous down that right-hand side, Park, and is just dropping into these pockets of space.
The thing they're doing this week, City, is they're actually finding the wide players. United need to stop that delivery into wide players. It is so difficult, though.
Yeah, she stops it at the end point, Hannah Blundell, but as you say, Lucy, perhaps Manchester United can do more to stop it at the beginning point of the delivery, because Manchester City are able to take the time, pick those passes. Crowded out of it, very much so. White, good strength. Walsh, likewise. Now Bronze.
Well done, Luce.
Out of the 2 managers, who will be more pleased with this opening 45, given that City are at home, but given that United are 5 points clear of their rivals in the table.
Yeah, I think Gareth Taylor will be happy with it, how his team have got around the area, but will expect better quality of chances at the end, or better quality of shot. Max going to be glad that his team have defended well. I want to see more attacking-wise, though.
They have to defend again here. Here is Hemp. Stanway. They do like that option of going back to Kennedy. She is a player that can play in central midfield as well, so her passing range is broad. So is this woman's Lucy Bronze. And again, Hemp with the chance, straight into the arms of Mary Earps.
Now, that's not quite as easy as her earlier chance, but again, Jess Park down this right-hand side. It's the quality of the ball into the box, and she links really well as well with Lucy Bronze. Sorry, it was Lucy Bronze this time. A terrific ball in there, just waiting to get someone's head on it. And Hannah White was gutted that it wasn't her, but it's great movement from Hemp, but just not enough contact with her head. In great areas. Down this right-hand side, the between the fullback Bronze and Jess Park. Some real quality.
Well, she's not the tallest, Lauren Hemp, as you can see, but she is proficient in the air, and it is about movement as much as anything else. She just manages to spot those runs, peel off the defenders. As Blundell gets a foot in on Park. And it's back with Caldwell. The decision has been given against Manchester United. The move called back. And City will have the possession.
She comes alive, doesn't she, Jess Park, when she gets the ball, and confident, wants to get forward.
Still just 20 years of age, Jess Park. Childhood Manchester City fan, has already made 50 appearances for them as well. Following in the footsteps of Ellie Roebuck, hence delivery. Straight into the arms of Mary Earps. Named the WSL Manager of the Month for January this week, Mark Skinner. Second month running that he's won that award.
Cross, can you get across?
Gareth Taylor was up for that one as well. Manchester City's resurgence in the last couple of months, which has certainly reinvigorated their European hopes. We heard Ellen White, Lucy, saying before this match that she's not ruling out the title. Is that realistic?
Yeah, but probably not realistic. I think they'll have a say in who does win it, though, because I think that they're getting close. I mean, the results against Chelsea early in the season, Chelsea completely dominated, but last week was a bit tighter, wasn't it? They got the players back, they look more of a team. The goalkeeper makes a massive difference. And he'll be expecting better results from his team.
Lucy Bronze almost getting the better, does get the better of Hannah Blundell. And White sends it over the bar and kicks the hoardings in frustration.
Yeah, she normally would put that away, Ellen White. She's annoyed with herself there. Terrific run, and just so front foot, Lucy Bronze from that position. United are giving away a lot of space. It's that touch there. You just need to get rid of it as a fullback when you've got Lucy Bronze, and it's a clever little dink. And you sort of expect the net to be bulging. It's a dink, it's not too much force, but she just didn't get the right contact on it.
And it's those runs through the centre from Ellen White that are so trademark as Greenwood takes a knock. And the Manchester City medical staff on very quickly. Well, the last thing you want when you're already wearing a mask to protect yourself from an injury is another blow.
Yeah, she looks pretty uncomfortable there. Not a worry, because she's one of their consistent players, left-sided centre-back. You see Lucy Bronze and Ellen White discussing that chance there. I don't know whether it was the conditions or whatever. You can't really blame anything as a centre-forward. I don't think Ellen White does that, but that was a massive chance for his team. And they've had the chances, they've gotten themselves right in front of goal a couple of times now, and probably should be at least 1-0 up. There's Katie Zellum going back, and yeah, that's a nasty one there. Greenwood ends up heading the back of Katie Zellum's head.
And the momentum with Greenwood as well. Nasty one. But as you say, they have had the chances, and Ellen White will feel that certainly she could have stuck one of hers away. Lauren Hemp's still the best one.
So when games are as tight as this, you know, there's no real room for error. And it's that touch there that Blundell, you cannot take that as a left back when you don't really know where Lucy Bronze is. It's a clever little clip, and she just got it all wrong in terms of the amount of power she put on the header there, Ellen White. You see where Mary Earps was. She would have had no chance.
It is her first start in almost a month. She had been struggling with injury earlier this month, missed the FA Cup tie at the end of last month against Nottingham Forest. Recently come back from that. But still, Khadija Shaw was getting the nod ahead of White and has, as we mentioned, been in good goal-scoring form. 3 minutes at a time. There'll be more than that, of course, with Alex Greenwood still down. But it is one of those. There's no question at all about Ellen White's quality and how important she is to this City side. But he doesn't tend to play them together. Not exclusively. He has done on occasion in-game, but normally it's Shaw or White.
Yeah.
And again, with the Euros coming up in the summer, she wants as much game time as possible.
Yeah, she's the type of player that thrives on game time, and I know she's had a couple of knocks, so just getting her some minutes is exactly what she will want for both club and country aspirations. But the way that City plays, they only play with 1-9, and neither her nor Shaw, I think, would play out wide. You obviously see how good their wide players are at the moment. So it's either or at the moment.
And of course, with Horton still out and out for so much of this season, the captaincy question under Sarina Wiegman has still raised its head. This is what happens when you have a new manager coming in, but she's had no opportunity to select Steph Horton.
Steph will be desperate to make sure she's part of that Euro squad, but it's about getting her right and getting some minutes. And she did start, did a couple of games where she'd got herself some minutes and a run of games, and then obviously a setback, which is not good for her. Ruby Mace, we've seen playing extremely well in the games that she has played. Probably not had as many minutes as she probably deserves, but just from looking at her performances when she has played, that she's a solid centre back, and she just makes really good decisions. She covers space really well, and she challenges extremely well and deals with centre forwards. I need that Greenwood does go off.
So much strength in depth on the bench for Manchester City. That's what they've struggled with early on in the season. At one point they were into double figures in terms of injuries, and you mentioned the goalkeeping importance of having Ellie Roebuck back. As a big cheer goes up for Alex Greenwood, who is able at least to get to her feet.
Yeah, there are concussion protocols, aren't there? You've got to protect the player, whatever the player says, because she did get, it was a clash of heads, wasn't it? And it's not a very particularly nice feeling, but also strict medical protocols as well.
Yes, I'm sure they will be checking those in depth. Manchester City and, of course, Manchester United affected by concussion. Ahead of this match there, Galton, the January WSL Player of the Month, not available in such good form. And interesting in terms of her England prospects as well. She's not in the squad for England at the moment. That's a personal decision. She says here, Galton, that she does like to have those international breaks off. She finds that it's very important for her overall well-being just to have those breaks from football. Otherwise, she gets to a point where she's just not enjoying it. But has had discussions with Sarina Wiegman, and I think it's pertinent, Lucy, because this is the point at which Leah Galton is closer to the England squad than she's ever been, and should she decide that she was available for selection, would be many people's first picks.
Yeah, she's certainly playing well this season, Leah Galton, but you know, when you're an England manager, you want a group of players that are 100% fully committed to what you're trying to do, particularly this close to your Euros. There won't be many extra players that are brought in by Wiegman, because she has to work with them now. It's so important, the games that are coming up against better teams. She gets this team prepared for the Euros in the summer. But yeah, Leah Galton is definitely one that would be considered, should she want to be considered, but I think that's more the player's decision than anything else.
Here is Lasada. Park. They've got the bodies in there once more, City. But United are shepherding well with Blundell. Park still has it, though. Lasada.
I like the way that Lucy Bronze just leaves Park to it at times. I don't think she'll ever pass back to her, or that she'll need her, but a little bit of a support there. She'll be gutted about missing this game. She's been one of the standout players for United.
White does well to just keep that in. Park's delivery. Corner.
Yeah, the White had been dragged out So just left a couple in the area, then Georgia Stanway attacked the ball really well. I think that they're just not getting numbers in the box. They're getting lots of crosses in the box and not really the numbers, and making it easier for United to defend against.
Lasada taking over corner duties from Greenwood. Still getting the boos though from the Manchester United fans. Right behind her. Lasada's delivery, she knew she was looking for, didn't she? Cleared away by United before Bronze can pull the trigger. Clearly something they've worked on though.
I don't think the conditions will allow anything particularly intricate on set pieces.
Just get it in the mixer. And there is the half-time whistle, a half in which Manchester City have had the better chances, the most glorious falling to Lauren Hemp. Ellen White has had several sights of goal as well. But as we enter the break, Manchester United still level, 0-0.
Yes, thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Vicky. It has been a really intriguing first half. Mark's going to mention about managing this game, Farah, and even though Manchester City have dominated in terms of possession, how do you view this half?
Yeah, look, Manchester City have certainly dominated, and certainly down this right-hand side in Lucy Bronze and Jess Park, I think, you know, they've had Ella Toone running back towards her goal, which is not too familiar, you know, in doing in a game. I'm not sure United have had any control of the game, but what they've done is stay in the game. And I think it's important that they've gone in at the half at 0-0. It gives themselves half a chance in the second half to regroup and come out with different tactics. There's certainly tactics in this game that Man United can do to exploit this Manchester City backline.
What do you think Mark Skinner will be saying to his team then at half-time, Willie?
I think it's exactly as far as saying, you know, they've got to find a way to stay in the game. I think they've been quite clever with some of their free kicks, and they've managed to steal some territory through free kicks. They've got deliveries into the box. I think they need to utilise their left-hand side better. I think there's wide open spaces which we'll look at in a bit, but there's certainly elements of this game that Man United can do a lot better and really take the game to City and test that back line of City.
And then do you think actually that City will be kicking themselves because they've created a lot of chances during this first half?
Yeah, you know, without a doubt, that big chance early on, you know, could have completely changed the complexion of the half. So yeah, I'm sure Gareth will be a little bit frustrated, but he'll need to make sure that the players keep their composure. You know, you can see that chance there.
Yeah.
It's a massive chance right at the start of the game, and what a way that would have been for them to start.
Yeah, it was Lauren Hemp with that opportunity there. And it's one of those when it falls to you, Farah, you're thinking about it afterwards. But they continue to create chances.
Yeah, they did. And look, most of the chances for Manchester City, as I mentioned, come down this right-hand side. You can see here Lucy Bronze getting a bit of Hannah Blundell, and Ellen White will be slightly disappointed with that chance. It's a massive chance just before the half, and I feel like she could have done a little bit better with that header.
Yeah, and actually, you were observing both wingers for Manchester City are exploiting the spaces, and you mentioned her before the game even started. You highlighted her, and she's having a huge impact on this half, the first half. Jess Park.
Yeah, she is. Look, we highlighted her before, and I think her form of late in the last 3 or 4 games has been fantastic for Manchester City. I think what she's done today is that she's mixed the game up. You can see here she starts in field, which draws Hannah Blundell, the fullback, inside and allows the space for Lucy to go down the line and cross balls into the box. So there's one of the variations of what she's been doing. Here you can see she holds her run quite wide as the ball's out on the left-hand side with Hem, and she comes in really late. And this is what she's best at, 1v1 against the fullback. She cuts back here, and this is the ball we was on about, where Hem will be disappointed not to finish this. This was in the opening 5 minutes of the game. Here she comes short into play and leaves the space in behind for her to go 1v1, which is what she's really, really good at. And look, they're having to double up and win their team a free kick.
She has showed so much variation to her game. She's causing a nightmare to Hannah Blundell. Hannah doesn't know where to go tight. She doesn't know where to keep her position in the back line, and just our whole variation is causing United a lot of problems.
Is it one of those, Farah? I know, well, used to be alongside you in a change room. If someone's having a good game like Jess Park, you're just saying, give her the ball all the time.
You are, and that's what I think Lucy Bronze will want to be doing. The experience Lucy has, she'll be encouraging her teammates to do that. I think the inexperience of Jess Park, I don't think she realises in this first half she has the better of Hannah Blundell, because if she does, I think she'd be a little bit more positive at times to go 1v1. There's times where, you know, I'm on the edge of my seat wanting her to go 1v1 and get into the box, and she chooses a safer option. So for as exciting as she's been in this first half, I still think that inexperience, you can see that in her play at times.
OK, Willie, how did Manchester United exploit Manchester City?
Well, if we can look at United's best chance, you know, as much as City's right-hand side's causing all the problems, it's also City's right-hand side that can be exploited, and eventually United get a chance to outnumber them. They manage to overload it. Borisa peels out wide. Ella Toon then makes an inside run beyond, and they create a really good chance from open play. But it's on a lot. You know, if they can get Blundell on the ball, if they can then get Ella Toon drifting into spaces. Borisa seems to be the spare player for United. Borisa, she's playing through the middle really high. She's coming out to the left-hand side, and I think if they can use her wisely, they can really get 2v1s against Lucy Bronze and cause City some problems. OK, well, it's currently 0-0 here at the Academy Stadium, but the WSL fixtures did get underway on Friday night. Another derby, this one over in London, as Chelsea took on Arsenal in a top-of-the-table clash. If you missed it, here's the best of it. Commentary from Mark Scott.
Long it goes, and they could be in round the back here. Kerr wants it. Oh, it's back here to Kirby instead. What a chance. And what a bad finish by her standards. Nowhere near hitting the target here, Kirby. Didn't really need to take it first time either. In from Catley. It's a deep one. Not dealt with. Miedemar! Closest we've come to a goal. And the player who scored the opening goal when the sides met on the opening weekend is inches away. Excellent technique. And Katrin Berger could only watch and hope. It's not a great header. It's come for Anderson, who's had a hit, and that is not a million miles away. It got a touch on its way past Zinsberger's post as well. That was travelling, and travelling just wide. Harder in round the back. There's no flag. Kerr's waiting for it. She's away from Williamson, and it's into Kerr, who can't take advantage. That was such a good opportunity, and it's a complete air shot. And it goes again, and it's come for the hit from Ji So-yun, and they've got in a mess there. They got lucky because Ji So-yun's strike should really have been easy for Zinsberger. It was straight at her from the substitute. She spilled it. Williamson took it away from her, and Harder nearly nipped in. It's whipped in well, and not dealt with fully. Bright's there to help clear. Chelsea scramble it away. Well, having been on the back foot for most of the second half, Arsenal almost snatched the lead late on. What a wicked free kick that is. Berger did well to get a fist on it, and then she needed her skipper to come to her rescue. Again, it's into right underneath the bar, and Bright's got there to clear once more. Well, Berger was beaten this time, but her skipper wasn't. And it goes for Charles. He's kept it in. Oh, now is that handball? Williamson, the accused party. Chelsea are convinced that they should have had a last gasp penalty. Rebecca Welch, the referee, says no. Oh, I think Arsenal have got lucky there.
Yeah, that game ending 0-0. Not a boring 0-0 draw, that one, but it is close at the top of the table. 2 points separating first and second. So confirmation of the weekend's WSL latest results and the fixtures. Today, Manchester City won and against Manchester United. I've just said that. It's actually 0-0 here at the Academy Stadium at half-time. And we're just over 25 minutes into the game between Everton and Aston Villa, and that one is currently Villa leading 2-0. And the remaining 3 matches all kick off at 2 o'clock. Birmingham City take on Tottenham, Brighton face Reading, and West Ham travel to Leicester City. Right, a player hoping to get back on the field for club and country is Chloe Kelly. She's joined right now by Kelly Summers.
Yes, Alex, she may not be able to be on the pitch today, but at the end of last week, everyone was talking about Chloe Kelly because she signed a new 3-year deal here at Manchester City. Firstly, Chloe, congratulations. How easy a decision was it to commit your future here?
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was an easy decision for me to put pen to paper for another 3.5 years at this club. They've backed me throughout my injury and I'm in a good place now, and I'm very thankful for everything they've done since my injury, but it's only the beginning now.
Let's talk about that injury a little bit, because I'm sure there's Manchester City fans watching on now wondering how it's going, how long it's going to be until you're back, because from what you've said recently, the signs sound promising.
Yeah, I'm in a great place at the moment. I'm feeling good in myself and I probably feel better than before my injury, so that's a good thing. But mentally, I'm in a much better place. I'm mentally stronger now and I feel good, so I'm looking forward to playing here in front of the City fans.
Physically as well, are you back in training yet?
I'm not back fully training yet. I'm doing bits with the team, which is promising, but yeah, I feel good and I'm feeling myself, which I'm excited about for my return.
As you walked over here then, the City fans are really excited to see you. It's a sellout crowd here, a Manchester derby. These must be the kind of games you really miss playing in.
Yeah, I'm absolutely gutted not to be playing here today, and it's a great fan base we have, and it's just, I hope we can get this week in, week out, because this is what the game deserves now. These fans come in to support the team day in, day out, and the work on the pitch that we're doing to get to that next level, so we are playing entertaining football in front of these fans and making people want to come and watch us.
Well, it was certainly an entertaining first half. City very much on the front foot. Chloe, thank you so much for your time. Really looking forward to seeing Chloe back on the pitch. I've also got to say she did really well then, Alex, because the Manchester United fans are trying to put her off just to my left, so she did very well.
Just like on the pitch, she can handle any situation, Chloe Kelly. Let's get back to that London derby between Chelsea and Arsenal. What are your thoughts on that game, Farah?
I thought it was a game with 2 halves. I thought Arsenal controlled much of the first half. They had a great chance through Vivian Miedema, which I think, you know, was a chance that I thought normally she would score. And I thought Chelsea come back into the game and had a couple of half chances. I think the quality in the game probably wasn't there, and overall a draw was probably fair.
And some big, well, refereeing decisions in there, especially in that second half towards the end of the game, Willie.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Emma will be very frustrated not to get the penalty there. I think everybody agrees it was a handball, and you know,
I think even Leah, her body movement straight away.
Yeah, well, I think you can actually see from Leah's reaction that she's almost, you know, she almost walks off the pitch, assuming that the penalty's going to be given. But yeah, I'm sure Emma will be really frustrating, because at the end of the season that could be 2 points that make all the difference.
Yeah, it does, especially after the international break. It just shows this season how close this league is, Farah. The gap is closing. But now, as well as football, there's plenty of rugby to come across the BBC, including this.
We are
the roses, the thorn in your side.
We are your wake-up call.
The fire that will not die. And we are together. We are rugby.
We are Six Nations. The Six Nations Rugby Special, Sunday at 6 on BBC Two and iPlayer.
Yeah, lots of sport across the BBC today. You can listen to live commentary of Burnley against Liverpool at 2 o'clock and Leicester against West Ham at 4:30 on Premier League Sunday. And you can catch up on all the action, medal moments and talking points from day 9 of the Winter Olympic Games on Winter Olympics Extra. That's on BBC 3 tonight at 8 p.m. And highlights from the weekend's WSL fixtures featured tonight on the Women's Football Show on BBC One at 11:30. Actually, that's now on BBC Two, and Kelly Summers will have you for that one. And before we head back to the second half of today's Manchester derby, let's take a quick look at the best of the first half action.
The volley, just over. All across, what a miss. slide down there by Greenwood. Lovely footwork and a vital header. And White sends it over the bar.
Yeah, Farah, just behind us, a couple of the Manchester United players coming out early. What do you expect to see from them in the second half?
Well, I think we mentioned it. I think William Kirk mentioned it there. I think they have to get this Manchester City right-hand side. I think through Bo Risa, I think Ella Toone and Hannah Blundell, I think they can cause this Manchester City team problems. So they've come out early, which shows good signs from Man United. They've obviously had a rollicking at half-time and are about to prove something in the second half.
Do you think they have to manage another wave of these Manchester City attacks?
Yeah, I personally think the best way for them to manage that is to get on the front foot themselves and try to get a little bit more territory. As Farah says, get at that right-hand side because there's space there to exploit.
OK, well, let's get you back to your commentary team. It is Lucy Ward alongside Vicky Sparks.
Thanks, Alex. Well, Manchester United have never been involved in a goalless draw in the WSL. So, Lucy Ward,
don't put the mockers on it.
Goals in the second half, then.
Let's hope so. I just look at City and they need to be more clinical in front of goal. Obviously, they've created quite a lot of chances. It's just the quality right in front. But United, I think, you know, that they need to offer a little bit more going forward and have an outlet when they do win the ball back, because they've got that pace. They've got the likes of Toone who can get into space, and they've not really got themselves in front of goal as you would expect with the quality of players that they've got.
Yes, it is City who have dominated possession. They've dominated the chances. They have not been able to dominate the scoreline. 0-0 as the second half gets underway. And you have to say, given that Manchester United have lost both of their league encounters at Manchester City, a point would keep them 5 points clear of their rivals. Would certainly not be a bad result, but will Mark Skinner's side go for it? Will they want more in this second half?
Well, he definitely won't want to lose it, but he won't try and lose it, try to win it and then lose it, because, you know, a point's okay because City need to win. City need the 3 points. So I think he'll be probably keeping his players in the game, making sure they stay in the game, and maybe a goal's just going to win this one goal because it's quite tight. But he will be hoping that his team could just offer that little bit more.
Here is Kennedy for City. Lovely touch by Bronze. Park won't quite meet it, and Torres Dossier clears away for Manchester United. Kennedy is there once more. She was given the nod ahead of Ruby Mace. What have you made of Alana Kennedy's performance at the back for City?
Well, they haven't really had that much to do. They've had a lot of ball. They've stepped in and overloaded centre midfielders and passed the ball forward. But in terms of defending, I think they've done all right, the pair of them. They haven't really been threatened by United at many points, but I think that might change in this second half, because I think the conditions make a difference. It's actually more difficult to play with the wind. You see Losada there trying to do it. I don't think that's the conditions to do any sort of tricks like that, but she's caught.
And it will be a free kick for Manchester City. Alex Greenwood looks to have recovered from that whack that she took in the first half. She's wearing that mask due to a facial knock that she took a couple of weeks ago. And another blow in the opening 45. But over this set piece for Manchester City. White, one of those on the move, goes all the way across, looking for Hemp. Goal kick.
And that was an example. I mean, the City have got the wind with them, so it actually makes it a little bit more difficult. You don't need to put as much on it as Greenwood did then. He saw the ball just run away from him at that side.
Yes, when you've spent the entirety of the first half trying to get the distance against the very strong wind, can take you by surprise in the second. And now it is Mary Earp's turn to battle at the goal kicks instead of Ellie Roebuck. Caldwell wasn't quite sure where Hemp was there. Gets the ball away. She had a look one way, a look the other, and Lauren Hemp almost taking advantage. Bronze. Losada. Hemp. Closed down by Russo. Cleared away by Katie Zellem, looking for Larissa. Greenwood will tidy up. Lasada. Scrappy at the start of this second half.
Yeah, and I do think, and I do talk about the conditions, but it is affecting how both these teams are playing.
Stanway almost in through the centre. Park rather will pick it up. And easy enough to watch behind, and you can just see a little frustration boiling over there from Georgia Stanway.
Yeah, the ball in. And we talk about not putting as much on it, and it's just a bit too much on that pass through to Stanway. And then I think she's quite a feisty character, isn't she? And I think when she's frustrated, you don't want to be on the wrong end of it. And Blundell, it is frustrating for an attacker when that happens. It's a nightmare, but you can't really do that. We haven't seen much of that this afternoon. I'm a bit disappointed. I don't mean players getting booked or sent off. I just mean a bit of feistiness to the challenges.
Yes, it's that fine balance, isn't it? Georgia Stanway, a player that very much plays with her heart on her sleeve, but got herself sent off in the Manchester derby at Manchester United in the WSL earlier this season. Remarkably, given that that was before half-time, City managed to come away with a point. Russo. It's been quiet, largely defensive duties for United. But yet can't keep hold of it. Hemp turning into trouble. Does find White. And it's back with Greenwood. But Russo and Toon, two players that United will very much want to get into this match more in an attacking sense.
Yeah, when they win it back, United, it's the areas that they need to counter into, and it's beyond the full-backs, whether it's Stokes on the left or Bronze on the right, but they've not quite done that. And I think while ever they've not had that outlet, it just encouraged Manchester City to come onto them, and maybe the game will open up as we continue through the second half.
Cleared away by Torres Dossier for United, who, like City, had been on a very good run in the last couple of months. Their defeat by Chelsea in the Continental Cup semi-finals 2 games ago was United's first defeat in 9. Ended a 7-game winning run in which they'd not conceded a single goal. It's 0-0 here. Torres Dossier away. Blundell won't prevent the corner.
In terms of the lack of quality of chances, or those chances being finished, you think that set pieces will be quite important, but like I say, you have to take advantage of the wind here, and you could nearly score from a corner here if you got it right.
Well, it's United who've been the masters of scoring from corners in the WSL this season. What can Manchester City do from this set piece? Not beat Katie Zellem. Lasada back in. Again, the effort is blocked. Stanway out to Greenwood. We'll get another chance for the delivery. Miscue from Zellem. Does get it away. And it will be another City corner.
The last one, she just didn't get enough on it, Greenwood. Let's see if she gets it right this time.
White making a nuisance of herself. It's drifted in again, straight into Katie Zellem. The United skipper doing her job. Will Gareth Taylor want to see a little more urgency from his side in these scenarios? We understand that City want to build from the back. They're trying to pull United out of position, find those key passes, use the width, but seconds are ticking away early in the second half, but they're still ticking.
Yeah, United are actually defending well in that sort of shape and trying to make City's play predictable, but they'll have to start to move themselves and the ball quicker if they want to get these 3 points. And I think the onus is on City to get the 3 points today, because I think United will be quite comfortable to keep it at 0-0 and then try and nick it at some point.
Stokes with the throw for City. Zellem again, Hemp steals in, sliding challenge by Diane Caldwell. And she's walking away, but not quickly enough to escape the yellow card.
Yeah, I feel a bit for Caldwell there, really, because she was left exposed by her teammates that she had to make that challenge because the 2 or 3 in front of her didn't make that challenge initially, and to stop Hemp from getting through, somebody had to do it. It wasn't particularly well timed, and you know the pace of Hemp, but she'd already got back past a couple of United players.
Well, it's that movement and vision again from Hemp that we were discussing in the first half, not in an aerial sense on this occasion, but she just senses where there's an opening, even if it's fractional, and she's right on her opponent. Greenwood, unorthodox, ineffective.
We do know all about the ability on set pieces, but given the win today, that has to be absolutely perfect.
Not under real pressure. Pressure's paid off. Loose touch from Stokes though, and Zellem will clear. Miscue from Kennedy. Almost for Ella Toon. Here is Walsh. Again, slightly loose touch.
The referee got in the way then. Yeah, the referee got in the way of what Kira Walsh was trying to do. She accepts that.
Yes, balls hitting the referee, I think, at this stadium in particular. The officials will be right on, given Manchester City's controversial goal against Arsenal here last month. And the ball hit the referee. Drop ball wasn't given. City continued their attack and scored in it. Really was a disadvantage for Arsenal, given the break of the ball and the space that they then achieved down that left-hand side. City still in possession. Here is White. There's nobody in there. And again, they've just not got the range with the wind.
Yeah, and I think you don't realise until you actually play with the wind how difficult it was. It was difficult for United in the first half, but they're playing quite a high line, United, and unless they get that pressure on the ball, they are at risk of playing those balls, but they haven't managed to get the ball wide. And they're quite loud out there, the Man United fans to our right. Needs to keep hold of that, we might even go off with it.
Firm grip. Yes, those flags flying well. We have to say, when the large Manchester City flags on the big poles were waving before the match, they could move them one way, couldn't they, Lucy? But trying to get them back the other way to wave them across.
It was a whole body work.
Strong arm muscles there, didn't you?
Whole body workout.
Still level in a match that Manchester City really needs to win, certainly when it comes to those very faint title hopes. Ellen White saying they're not giving up, not writing it off, but it would be a huge ask. But when it comes to Champions League qualification as well, Stanway sliding it through. Earps there ahead of White.
The ball just wasn't right, was it, for Ellen White in terms of her path, but Mary Earps starting position again. We talk about the goalkeepers in this game, and it's so important in the games on the edge like this.
Away from Earps, quickly closed down by Hemp. Stokes up against Battier, does get the delivery in, and again Earps is there. Park unable to make the clean connection.
Yeah, I don't think Jess Park actually believed that she was going to get anything on it, and it's a terrific cross, and we haven't seen Debbie Stokes get forward that often in this game, but just the quality of the delivery into the box, and if she'd have really thought, I can go and get this, she'd have got something better on it.
Russo underneath it for Manchester United, won't keep it in.
I'm interested to see which manager blinks first in terms of making substitutions. You know that City need the 3 points. Well, perhaps they will do that first. Max Skinner perhaps wait till later on in the game and roll the dice.
Well, he has got the options on the bench, Gareth Taylor, and there are some of them. Janine Becky, the Canadian gold medalist, one of those at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Waiwa Torres Dossier.
I think as well, there's Caroline Weir, that maybe a bit of craft will unlock maybe the difference between the two teams. Look at Caroline Weir on the Man City bench, and she definitely has that sort of craft, particularly in front of goal.
Greenwood over the top, Battier is there. And that tussle with Lauren Hemp continues. Well, it looks as though United's wobbling first.
So maybe change the centre forward.
Here is Bronze. Nice pullback looking for Park. They'll still keep it City. Park does well.
She's got terrific feet, Jess Park. It's like it's stuck to the bottom of her boot, but she's so much confidence as well.
An hour gone at the Academy Stadium, and we are still level. Can United change that from the bench? Can City change it? Not by giving the ball away. Russo. It's excellent vision. Now can Manchester United counter? Borisa looking for Brun. Straight into Alex Greenwood, and that was an opening.
Yeah, that's the type of thing I'm talking about, getting the ball up the pitch when they win it back in limited passes.
Advantage played. Lasada, Park's asking for it. Here she is. Will let fly, and it's off the post, and won't fall for White, and won't quite fall for Hemp either. Once again, Jess Park hits the woodwork in a match against Manchester United, but this time, White can't find the tap-in.
Tell you what, it just opened up there because United went to go forward and just committed and took a risk, threw a few players forward, and it allowed City to exploit those spaces.
Battier up against Stokes, and Stokes comes out with it. And she takes out the cross once more. Waiwa Torres Dossier. Here is Lucy Bronze, and now Lasada. Good spell this for Manchester City. Can they make the pressure count? Rondell with the push, deemed legal. Manchester United throw.
Tell you what, they're not getting enough bodies in the box for me, City. They've got the opposite winger and Ellen White, and that's it when it comes to crosses. It's a great effort though from Jess Park. I think everybody watched it. It's curled in. Mary Earps was even watched it. I think she didn't see it until late, did she? But massive chance.
Can United fashion a chance at the other end? Bruin is through the centre, Toon is in possession, and Toon will go for it, beaten away by Roebuck, and again, so close to falling kindly for the follow-up. This time for United, Roebuck with another punch, and Manchester City clear.
It just shows you when United do get the ball forward and get it wide to the likes of Toon that they can threaten City.
It's lifted the crowd. Battier, Hemp with the foot in. And City once more will clear.
It actually looked quite difficult for Roebuck to save that, and she had to save both of those one-handed, but the break was on, and that's what I'm talking about, areas to counter down that left-hand side. It's really cleverly worked, but it bounced awkward, didn't it, in front of Roebuck, and she did really well, but United came back again. And that's massive chances for United. Desperate defending in the end from City. That bounce there, she was on her way down, Roebuck, and she just got something on it. Good goalkeeping in the end.
Well, here is that change from Manchester United. Vilde Borisa is replaced by the Scotland international Martha Thomas.
Haven't really got, Bo Rees has played well recently, but not really got her in good areas, particularly in an attacking sense. She's done most of her work out of possession. You just need to offer a bit more, and Martha Thomas will put herself about a bit as an extra centre forward.
Does so immediately. Free kick City. She's been used regularly in the WSL, Thomas, but only one start in the league this season for Manchester United. That's the first time we've seen a sloppy pass in defence from Manchester City. I think that chance from United has rattled them. She's involved again, Thomas, and this time the free kick goes her way.
Well, this is what she offers, that she just makes centre-backs' lives a little bit more busy than they wanted them to be. And Kennedy and Greenwood have had quite an easy life so far in this game, and just make them think now and get into some individual duels.
They've scored in all but one of their league games this season, Manchester United. Can they break the deadlock here? The delivery is drifted in, flicked away by Lucy Bronze. Stanway tumbles. Advantage played. And we're just seeing Sina Bruin drop back into that number 10 role, and Martha Thomas leading the line. Will that allow Bruin to become more involved, do you feel, Lucy?
Yeah, they've just got to make sure that they find her, because they didn't really find Bo Rees so far when she was playing that 10. But I think the most important thing is Martha Thomas.
Here is City's 10, Georgia Stanway. Park. Stanway. Well, we know she can find the back of the net from there. Not on that occasion.
Yeah, listen, she can score the spectacular, and this game needs the spectacular. And it's, again, isolated full-back with Jess Park, and United playing quite a dangerous game there, but not what we'd really expect from Stanway in the end. And it's just opening up a bit now, the game, as we probably expected it, and both managers expected it to be.
United under real pressure, and I'll tell you what, Coldwell's done brilliantly there. They've given it away, and they've now given away a free kick as well, and Katie Zellem, the Manchester United captain, expressing her frustration.
Yeah, United are playing out from the back simply because if they kicked it in the air from the goalkeeper, then the wind would have a say, but you've just got to make sure those passes are found. Coldwell did really well. You've seen her strength there, taking on Hemp and Stanway. But I think in the end it was a foul, wasn't it? It's another set piece to deal with.
Well, they have the assistance of the wind, Manchester City, but this is still a long way out. She's already gone for goal once, Greenwood. Losada is there as well. What will City try from this set piece? It is Greenwood. She goes for goal again. And again.
I think the first time she hit it too hard, so she realised that. So this time she tried not to put as much on it, and then as soon as you do that and you go for the accuracy, it gives us a chance to get across and cover.
It does bring back memories of that sneaky free kick for Notts County that Greenwood and Laura Bassett and Ellen White were involved in. The faked mix-up between Greenwood and Bassett, and then laid off, and White involved as well. They scored from it. The unorthodox can sometimes pay off. And here is Ellen White.
United fans will be happier to see Ella Toone getting on the ball more. She didn't really see much of it in the first half. We know how creative she can be, and a couple of times she's had a little run down that left-hand side.
Here is Stokes attempting a run down the left of her own. Stanway. Kennedy. Now Bronze. Greenwood. Him to Stokes. Him. Just played it in front of Stanway. Russo. Saw the run of Toon. Bronze anticipates.
It was the right idea from Russo, just trying to switch play, but just the execution of the pass wasn't there, and a little bit loose in possession, both teams today. Not as much quality as we're used to seeing. And quality of the chances are low as well, and we'll see something in the last 20 minutes. You know, it's such a tight game.
Torres Dossier defeating White in the air. Yes, it felt for a couple of minutes as though it was going to pick up in terms of pace and tempo. It was almost as though both sides were waiting for the final quarter of the hour, but still waiting for this one to burst into life, which shows just how much is riding on it. Manchester United would keep the 5-point gap to Manchester City should the scoreline stay as it is. It would be their first 0-0 draw in the WSL as well, in their 50th WSL game.
Yeah, it's all about risk and reward. Which team is prepared to take a risk that it might lead to their undoing and they concede.
Here is Hemp. Trying to slide it through. Cleared away by Torres Dossier, City corner.
Yeah, if they need a way through, it's got to come from those wide areas. Hemp on the left and Park on the right, as we've seen throughout this game. And always box of tricks, direct. She runs well with the ball, doesn't she, Lauren Hemp? And again, a wild hit by Torres Dossier.
The sky blue shirts await. And a dangerous one to deal with for Manchester United. And they just about do.
Yeah, I think it was Lucy Bronze, wasn't it, who got something on it. Cleared in the end. It's a dangerous ball in, isn't it? And she didn't get anything on it, and in the end it ran through, but got a touch from a United player.
So Losada will try from this right-hand side, taken short. Again, Earps has to watch it, and watches it very well.
She's done good there, Mary Earps, really well as the cross came. It's so difficult, the ball swirling and lots of bodies around her. Safe hands. I'm trying to be clever with a short corner, but let's see, Alana Kennedy, I think it was in, but Earps was first to it.
Well, she's yet to score for Manchester City, Alana Kennedy, since arriving last summer after leaving Tottenham. She did score 3 goals for Spurs last season, including a superb free kick against Manchester United, which won Tottenham's goal of the season. So many players that can strike the ball proficiently from the dead ball situations. Walsh there ahead of Russo. Now Greenwood. Kennedy. Bronze. Park on the chase. Torres Dossier away. United throw. Well, no surprise that Gareth Taylor at 0-0 has decided to turn to this woman, Caroline Weir, who has scored 2 superb goals against Manchester United in her career, scored in both home league games against them as well. She is a player that can provide that special moment, as is Lauren Hemp, who has still missed City's best chance in this match. Here she is once more, Hemp. Taking on Battier. Ushered away by Russo. Now Walsh. Well charged down by Brun. Greenwood. Stokes.
Yeah, she just offers that game craft, Caroline Weir, and they seem to have run out of ideas City now in that final third. So a player like her can get on the ball and see the pass and create something is exactly what is needed in terms of City.
Interception by Russo, who has put in a real shift defensively. We're normally used to seeing her in an attacking sense, but she's worked so hard.
Yeah, I think the way that they've set up defensively, United has been very, very good. It's just offering a little bit of sugar where they try and get that goal, but City go first in terms of trying to get that goal. Weir should add that extra quality.
Here is Hemp. Bronze. Stanway. Out to Park. Stanway. She's done well there, Stanway. And just away by Manchester United. Walsh concedes the free kick. But again, that movement there immediately.
A terrific play down the right-hand side initially. And I think it was Ellen White, actually, that Georgia Stanway had crossed the ball. But the run from Ellen White, and she stepped over it as it came to her just because she thought somebody had been in a better position. Caroline Weir went for it and didn't quite connect, but it's a really top-quality cross.
Almost the immediate impact that Weir would have wanted. Here is Thomas. Now Russo. Corner.
They've actually been missing that, Martha Thomas, that link-up play, playing the ball into the number 9 and playing off into Russo. Russo hasn't had that sort of ball back into a wide.
They still believe. Finally poised as we enter the final 15 minutes. Selim's delivery and the header just wide.
I tell you, she's made a difference, Martha Thomas, in terms of her work as a 9. Now she's occupying the centre back, she's linking up play, and then she's getting herself to the end of set pieces as well. It's a good cameo so far from her.
Good covering on the line as well by Manchester City. But evidence for Manchester United that, again, with set pieces, with corners, as they have done throughout the season in the WSL, they can hurt opponents. And they could be in here, almost a 3-on-3 for a moment. Lucy Bronze using every ounce of that experience. And the throw curtailed because Thomas is still down for Manchester United.
She actually worked really hard then to close Lucy Bronze down. Some good shifts. I think Bronze just caught her in the face as she started to run.
Another change for Manchester United. Alessia Russo, her shift is over. She is replaced by the childhood Manchester United fan, Kirsty Hansen.
That's a good impact sub. Kirsty Hansen has the pace as well, fresh legs, and get the ball wide, and she's a really willing runner.
It's her first appearance in almost a month, Hansen. She's been back on the bench for the last couple of games after injury. Just the one goal this season, back on the opening day against Reading. But it increasingly looks like just the one goal this afternoon would settle it.
Both teams are finding it difficult to get some composed possession, connect the passes with quality. And they know that this game is right on the knife edge.
High foot there by Caldwell. White has gone down, but the flag is up on the far side, and Caldwell perhaps a little fortunate there, although could still have been penalised, but on a yellow card, just has to be careful.
Yeah, she does. She's playing particularly close attention to Ellen White in an interesting battle between Ellen White and the two centre-backs for United. Not really had a couple of sniffs of goal, but Caldwell's had to defend.
Just her second appearance for Manchester United. Diane Caldwell, 33 years old. Arrived in January after leaving NC Courage of the NWSL. And perhaps a debut sooner than she expected. We knew Millie Turner was out. That's one of the reasons why Caldwell was brought in. But Aoife Mannion again not available for Manchester United today. So Caldwell playing in her place. Here is Weir. Sliding challenge made once more by Caldwell. Had to get it spot on, walking that tightrope still, and him there with a little nibble at the ankles of Katie Zellem. The throw goes Manchester City's way.
The two centre midfielders, Zellem and Ladd, have done particularly well to getting themselves out wide and covering and doubling up and helping United defend those wide areas.
Here is Kennedy. Bronze. Park ahead of her. Too much ahead of her was that pass. Well, they will be at home in 2 weeks' time for the FA Cup 5th round. Second Manchester derby in quick succession. You can watch that on BBC Two Sunday the 27th of February. Do join us then. Greenwood with the foot in. Bruin gets her own foot in, as does Weir. Stealing it from Zellem. She might go for it here. Weir, she went for the chip again! And it's brilliant again! For the second year in a row, Caroline Weir undoes Manchester United with a moment of sheer brilliance. And City lead in the Manchester derby, 1-0.
What did I say? Predicted that in terms of the quality that she adds to a really tight game, Caroline Weir, and it's about decision making. She has the technical ability, and when the ball lands at her feet, eventually lands at her feet, and she turns to face goal, and she could see where Mary Earps is, and so she knows that if she can pull that off, she'll get that in the back of the net, and there's not many players that can do that, and we have seen Caroline Weir do that time and time again. A cultured left foot, unbelievable finish.
A year ago yesterday, she did exactly that here to Manchester United. That was in a 3-0 victory. That goal could well be decisive. And perhaps another Puskás Award nomination coming her way. Manchester United coming City's way. Almost.
Say that was inches away there from United hitting back straight away. Terrific play down the left-hand side.
Zellem crowded out of it. Throw goes City's way, and Ella Toone throws her arms up in frustration because she let that run. She felt it was United's, but what could have been United's was a potential equaliser.
Wait until the 80th minute for this game to really come alive. And it's opened up. And I think this kind of ball that's put in behind is just inches away. It's terrific goalkeeping again by Roebuck.
Manchester City now with time to eke out time. Hayley Raso replacing Jess Park. Well, they're closing in on a precious 3 points, Manchester City. And we said, didn't we, Lucy, that it might need that moment of quality. And Caroline Weir has provided it. And again, the throw goes against Manchester United.
Yeah, when you have games that are as tight as this and the conditions mean there's a lack of quality, and sometimes it's a mistake, but it's even better when it's a moment of quality from a top player who's, when they come off the bench, change the game.
Forward by Zellum, away by Stokes. Greenwood clears it off Thomas. Bruin. Cleared away by City. And here is Hayley Rasso. Lovely skill. Just played it ahead of Stanway, and Zellum is there for United. And Ella Toon again expresses her frustration. She loses out. Manchester United look as though they are going to lose out once more away at Manchester City in the league. And City looking for the killer seconds. Won't find Ellen White. Long from Torres Dottir. Stokes is there. Archie and Weir coming together. The referee is happy. Zellum saw the run of Thomas. So did Alana Kennedy.
They've done well, the two centre-backs so far from Manchester City.
Well, they've scored in all but one league game this season. Manchester United. They need to find a way through here. But it's City who have control. Kennedy. Bronze. Lovely ball forward to Rasso. And White is racing through the centre, and Rasso just overran it and then ran straight into Torres Dottir. And clears the ball straight out of play.
Substitutes making a difference. No, this is the goal. And every single Manchester City fan in this stadium who's ever come and watched just knew what was going to happen here. They knew that Caroline Weir is not going to strike through the ball, that she'll chip, because they've seen it numerous times before, and that needs some real technical prowess to do that, because Mary Earps is no mugging goal, and exactly when you needed a game changer with terrific gamecraft, Manchester City got it.
And they have announced the attendance here. It is a record at the Academy Stadium. 5,317. A sellout crowd. And a crowd of home fans, at least, who will be delighted with this scoreline. Once again, they're getting the better. Their Manchester rivals. They're looking for the second, and Earps has claimed it.
She's made a difference, Rasso. She's added energy as well. Now on that right-hand side, we've had energy all day long from Hemp on the left-hand side, and again it's straight across goal, and that's as much as Rasso could get on it.
Greenwood. Straight out of play. Time, Lucy Ward, to get your player of the match.
Yeah, there's not been a lot of quality in front of goal, but I think that Lauren Hemp she's kept going. She's been the bright spark for Manchester City and kept them going in an attacking sense.
United coming forward in an attacking sense here. Hansen can't control. And it's through with Ellie Roebuck, but we must say, Lucy, again, yes, Manchester City have dominated possession, had the better of the chances. They will say that this is a scoreline that they deserve. But again, it shows how Manchester United, over the last 3 years in particular, have closed the gap on Manchester City, and they will still sit above them in the table, albeit only now by 2 points. Can City find this second goal? Weir to Hemp. Excellent challenge.
It's been hard fought, hasn't it, from both teams, and City have just edged it, I think, in terms of the chances that they've had, the real chances that they've had, but it needed somebody to come on and add that extra quality.
She has certainly played her part. It's Caroline Weir's goal. Another audacious chip that separates the sides. And when you've done it once at this very stadium against your rivals, why not try it again? That's what she did, and it absolutely paid off for Manchester City. Here is Walsh, loose, and they'll drive forward United. And here goes Martha Thomas. Roebuck has come and just gets there.
That's top
Brave
class.
goalkeeping.
Yeah, top class that, Vicky, from Ellie Roebuck. Her starting position is really aggressive, the goalkeeper, and it just means it's like you've got an extra defender in there. She committed to come out, and she's made a difference, Martha Thomas, for United. Split second, just before Martha Thomas got to it. Great goalkeeping.
Sina Bruin off. Ivana Ferreira Fuso, who scored late on in the League Cup against Manchester City earlier this season, found the equaliser in that match. But it's City who are pushing to put this beyond Manchester United once and for all. Rasso. Here is Hemp. All in the corner time as we enter 3 minutes of added time.
Just eases the pressure, doesn't she, Razzo? They give the ball to her and she just gets them up the pitch when they need it, because they need to see this game out. Manchester City, they've got the goal. They're just progressing the ball up the pitch at the speed that she does. Just eases any sort of tension or pressure the defence has.
Weir loses out. Long forward from United. Kennedy. Back to Roebuck.
She's been excellent as well. Alana Kennedy next to, and Alex Greenwood, two centre-backs.
Blundell. Here is Toon. Runs away before it can reach Thomas. Blundell once more. Well, stolen back by City. White does very well there. Hemp. Trying to take it back off her, but Hemp's still going. She's heading for the corner. Challenged by Torres Dossé, who will keep it in, no foul. Roebuck's clearance. United throw. Well, what could this result do for Manchester City's season? Ellen White said before this match they weren't ruling out the title. It's still a long shot. They'll be 8 points behind leaders Arsenal. But it does, Lucy, put them right back in the mix in the hunt for the Champions League.
Yeah, they're desperate to get into the Champions League. I think, you know, at the start of the season when they'd lost the games that they had, he would have never have thought, Gareth Taylor, that this is what they've faced. But he'll take it, he's got his players back.
And it's given away by Manchester United. Rasso trying to take advantage. Unable to do so. And United might have time for one final charge. Or maybe not. But they stayed in this game for so long, Manchester United. They are slowly but surely over the seasons, in encounters like this, bridging the gap between themselves and Manchester City. But once again, in the Manchester derby. It is Manchester City's afternoon. Caroline Weir with another sublime piece of skill against their rivals. The late breakthrough, enough. And Manchester City win by a 1-0 in front of a record crowd at the Academy Stadium. And Lucy Ward, we have to say, City will feel they deserve it.
Yeah, I think over the course of the game they probably created enough chances, quality of chances as well, but it needed something special, didn't it, from Caroline Weir. She came on as substitute, she added that extra bit of quality and good decision making and excellent technical ability as well. Terrific goal.
A glorious goal, a huge 3 points for Manchester City. It finishes at the Academy Stadium. City 1, United 0.
Yeah, thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Vicky. A huge 3 points, Farah, for Manchester City. And it was always going to take a little bit of magic to separate the teams. But overall, do you feel they deserved it?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a huge 3 points for Manchester City. It was a fantastic derby, really a competitive game. But it took for this girl here, Caroline Weir, a moment of magic. She comes on the pitch. You'd have probably been disappointed that she didn't start. But it's a year and a day to the day that she did the exact same finish against Manchester United in the derby. So, I mean, look, it was an exquisite finish from Caroline Weir. And look, her teammates around her, they're celebrating what was a class goal.
And really, you can almost see from those celebrations what a huge 3 points and actually a relief it was for them to get those points.
Yeah, what a goal. You know, I think if we're being honest, the second half we've seen more exciting games. There was not much to talk about in the second half, but you know, that goal absolutely lit it up, and that goal's worthy of winning any match. And as you say, the relief there, it's a massive 3 points for them. It closes the gap on United and really puts them into a strong position to go on and finish the season strongly now.
Yeah, Manchester City up to 24 points in the table now. And reflections on Manchester United, Farah, and their performance today?
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed with Man United. I thought they did, a good enough job to stay in the game for the half. But I thought they would come out in the second half and do a little bit more than what they did. I thought, it was pretty similar. They went to a 4-4-2. They tried to change formation, but didn't really create much. They had 1 or 2 chances, but nothing clear-cut. I think Manchester City dominated most of the game, and I think we heard Mark Skinner saying that he wanted his team to control the game. I didn't think they showed, much of that or much game management throughout the 90 minutes.
Why do you think they struggled today, really, Manchester United?
I just think Man City's experience, they've managed to contain anything that Man United threw at them. I think City soaked it up. I think they'll be really disappointed. I think Mark will be disappointed in terms of they didn't manage to influence the game a little bit better. They never created anything really clear cut. I don't think Kelly had too much to do, but City just looked like the more mature team. They looked the more experienced team, and they did enough.
Yeah. Over 5,500 here at the Academy Stadium today, and what a noise they have been making, Farah, which as well would have helped Manchester City today.
Yeah, definitely. Look, this is what the women's game's been crying out for. We've been asking for crowds like this to turn up, and what a fantastic occasion for both teams today. I think, the Man United fans that turned up today also really pushed their team, but look, you can see the City flags around the stadium being, flagged about. It's fantastic support for both teams today.
Okay, well, we said it was going to take a bit of magic, which it did. Let's take a look at that goal and just the quality that she managed to get on it, Farah.
Yeah, I mean, the goal come from, initially she put a press on. You can see here, this is the second phase of it, but the audacity to see where the keeper is and just to dink it from the distance she was, it's phenomenal. She had to work hard to win it. She nicked it off Katie Zellum. And then, as I say, she's seen where Mary Earps is, and, the dink was fantastic.
We're actually just joined, as we're playing in this goal right now, Caroline Weir has joined us. Caroline, talk us through this moment. What was you thinking?
Yeah, to be fair, I actually don't remember too much. It's a bit of a blur, but I know what I'm like when I hit the ball up in that area. It's obviously similar to the last goal, I think. I just can't help but try it. I try it all the time in training, and sometimes the keeper just catches it and I look a bit silly, but sometimes it goes in, and luckily enough for me today it went in.
I love how you're saying just sometimes you try. It was a year to the day, Farrell was just reminding us that you did it before. So you have got it in your locker. We've seen it many times, but for you to come off the bench and create that bit of magic, to have those 3 points for your team, it's got to feel special.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, it was a really close game throughout. It opened up a little bit in the second half, and I knew if I got the chance to come on, I'd have a little bit more space maybe. So, yeah, it's just about picking the ball up in those areas and trying to make the most of it. And, you know, we needed those 3 points, and obviously delighted for the team.
I know Willie wants something to say to you as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think I showed you how to do that when you were 14 or 15, Caroline, but, I mean, in all seriousness, how big a goal is that in terms of the WSL season?
Yeah, it's massive. I think, you know, we're looking at the table and we're a little bit off. We know United were, I think, 5 points ahead or something like that, so we needed to win. We couldn't draw. We knew how important it was, and we need to carry this momentum as we go, and we've got massive games coming up, so it's still all to play for.
Yeah, there was a number of special performances. Farrell was highlighting Jess Park, and in the second half she even hit the post as well.
Yeah, Jess, she's done so well. She's such a young talent, but has shown it in the big games throughout the season. And I thought she was really good first half as well, creating chances for us. And she was unlucky hitting the post. But you know, the whole team, we have so many talented players, young players. Hempel again, it's just so good for us. And I think the whole team played well today. And yeah, obviously, yeah, delighted to get the win.
Caroline, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on another wonderful goal. Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you.
Farrell, you did say about Jess Park and how special she was. She was come so close in the second half again, hitting that post.
Yeah, she did. Look, she was fantastic in the first half, and there was numerous amount of chances from Jess that she created, along with Lucy Bronze down this right-hand side. I thought they were fantastic. But the chance she got in the second half, and she cuts in off her right foot and hits the post. I think we can see it here. The ball comes out wide to her. And as she gets it, she just takes the full back on the inside. I think her first touch made her come back inside. And look, it's a great shot on her left foot off the post. But she had a quieter second half, and that's probably the inexperience that she has. Run out of steam a little bit, run out of ideas. But in terms of the first half, she was fantastic. And this chance here, a fantastic chance for her.
Okay, and from player right to manager, as we are joined by Manchester City manager Gareth Taylor. Gareth, you must be delighted after taking all those 3 points today.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty obvious. It was pretty important for us to win the game today, to claw back. And I'm just really proud of the players and proud of everyone, really, because great support we had here today from both teams. And I thought that we deserved it. I thought we played really good football from Ellie all the way through to the top end of the pitch. We just needed that probably moment of quality that Caroline brings.
Yeah, and Caroline said about how when she did come on, you felt the spaces were opening up. Was that your decision right then to put her on? Yeah,
I mean, Vicky has not played 90 minutes in a while, and I think, you know, we knew that she'd be flagging at some point, although she does slow the game down and gives you that bit of quality. You know that Caroline's capable of doing that, and she's a class act. We know she's capable of those moments. I think it was a year ago today she scored the goal against United. So yeah, it was just spaces were open up. Can we get her on the pitch in the right areas? And it wasn't probably even a chance, but the way she finished it was top draw.
What about the decision to start Ellen White ahead of Shaw? She hasn't played in the last 4 games. Was it more that she was more of a target, physical presence up there for you? And Shaw likes to come short, doesn't she?
Yeah, I mean, Ellen wasn't available for a couple of those games. So, you know, Bunny's come in and scored goals and done okay. But we just thought with Ellen's energy and her experience of these games, and again, you know, you've got to lead from the front, especially when we pressed the way we did and the energy we showed. And Ellen brings that for you.
The options, Gareth, that you've now got in terms of coming off the bench and
it's about time, Will.
Yeah. It's been a long old season in terms of injuries for you, but when you can now bring people like Caroline Weir off the bench, Hayley Raso off the bench, it must make a huge difference to your life.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we had Ruby Mace there as well. Defensively, we're obviously slightly light in numbers, but I think attacking options at the top end of the pitch and midfield areas, like you say, is a great for me to have, because I haven't had that earlier in the season.
Gareth, we saw your celebrations, but we just need to run in this goal again because it was a moment of magic. Talk us through this.
Yeah, I'm going to need to remember it myself.
That's why we're showing you it again.
Yeah, it's stunning. I mean, to be travelling with the ball at that pace as well, to be able to get that kind of connection on it at pace, under pressure. Yes, it's top class. We've seen her do it before. You'd like to say, she tries that in training, it never works, but she's capable of that. And it's a special goal. It's a special goal.
And now that you have got players coming back and you've got more of this selection headache, which managers love, is the message, Ellen was speaking before the game, that you're not giving up on this title yet?
No, I don't think we can. I mean, we saw Friday night's result. I mean, we've had opportunities that, we were a little bit disappointed with what the outcome of last week. It was quite a tight game, nothing in it. Probably should have came away with a draw at worst. But again, I've always spoken about performances, and our performances in general have been good. Mm-hmm. It's just that you need those moments and you need to capitalise on your opportunities. We had 10 attempts on goal in the first half and only 1 on target. So we're in the ascendancy and we're dominating, but we just need to turn those moments into chances and turn those chances into goals.
And it is your frustration now as a manager that you lose those players away to international duty?
Well, that's part and parcel of being in this job. It is frustrating, but it's nice to go into the international break with a really positive performance and a great win.
OK, Gareth, thank you and congratulations on today.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
We were just looking at the table there and how close it is, Farah, and the difference that moments of magic like Caroline today can make.
Yeah, and he mentioned it there. Look, they would have been disappointed with the goal last week against Chelsea, Sam Kerr's goal. Look, he mentioned he had all those chances against Chelsea, and one moment changes games, and that's happened today in the Manchester derby with Caroline Weir. And look, it was a class finish from her, and it was a moment that they needed because they dominated much of the game, but without really creating anything clear-cut.
Yeah, OK, well, let's hear from the losing manager, Mark Skinner, who is joined by Kelly Summers right now.
Mark, commiserations. The wait for a first WSL derby win goes on. What are your thoughts on your team's performance today?
We weren't as aggressive as we needed to be. There was no way that we're looking for a draw here. That's not what it is. We're looking for our team to play with the aggression that we know we have. But in times, look, Man City are a very well-patterned, drilled team. So you leave one space, they open it. But what we have to do is, when we're in the moments where it's a physical battle 1v1, we have to be better at winning those 1v1s, because what that does, it sets you up and breaks their pattern. And I don't think we were good enough at times in the game doing that.
Why do you think that was?
I would just say that it's sometimes you have to grow to the mentality of these games, and I feel that we're very much on the way to that, but we've got much more work to do. Because when you've played these games, you understand the hurt, and I've just told them after the game to feel what it feels like after this game. Because that's what every fan will feel, and that's what everybody else will feel. Feel it, because that's the fuel that makes you push to the next level, and that's what we're going to do.
It's a goal, of course, of the highest quality from Caroline Weir, from a Manchester City point of view, but from your point of view, were you frustrated or disappointed?
Very fortunate in terms of the way it's fell to her, but it's a great finish. It's fell to her in terms of we've held the ball up, we've played it, we've took an extra nick, and then she's got the other side of Zal. So, fortunate the way it fell to her, but very, very good finish. So sometimes games like this end on that, or a set piece or something else. So they've took it today, we'll take it in the future.
You told me before the game this was a huge opportunity to put pressure on Chelsea and Arsenal after they drew on Friday. Is this a big opportunity missed then?
I don't think I did say that, but what I will say is we're still in a position where we are in control of what we do. That's the biggest thing for us. We've got lots and lots of work to do, and we're still in our first season, so we're going to work hard to do what we can to control the rest of the games, like I said at the start.
Brilliant. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, Mark Skinner talking there, and it is all about that. The mentality to, yes, it's disappointing, but you're in a good position in the league, Willie, to come back after the international break and push on.
Yeah, listen, I think it'd be a fool to rule United out the Champions League running. They need to learn how to win these games, though. Mm-hmm. You know, they had a big opportunity last week against Arsenal. I think they should have went on and won that game, and they never. Today's another chance to win one of those big games, and they haven't done it. So, you know, it's got to get to a stage where they're going to need to learn how to win these big games if they want to get to the level that they're trying to get to.
And it's been clinical in those moments as well, because they also had chances.
Yeah, of course. You know, we can see a couple of half chances here.
Yeah, look, I think it's a shot of goal. I think the keeper could have done a little bit better, and then the follow-up, they wasn't on to the follow-up. They didn't commit enough bodies into the box, but it's a half chance for Man United, and look, as you mentioned with the Caroline Weir goal, it can change games. This one from the corner, it's a half chance again. I think she just got underneath the ball, but this was the one that the keeper just parries down. That, you know, maybe that they could have put this one in, but they were the only two chances of the game for Man United. So as much as they talk about, you know, being in the game and staying in the game, they didn't really have much clear-cut chances to get anything from the game. Mark Skinner sounded really disappointed in his interview, and you would be, because these are the games that you need to be winning in order to get yourself in them top 3 positions.
How do you change that mindset, Willie? Because that's an interesting point that you make about winning these sorts of games. How do you go about that?
Well, I had at Everton, we had a real mental barrier against the top 4 teams, and I included United in that when I talk about the top 4. And what I tried to do was actually sign players who had winners' medals, sign players who had been in those positions before. So it was about trying to actually bring that mentality to the club. Now, if you look at Man United in terms of their journey, this is only their 4th season. So there's nobody there who's won things as a Man United player. So you're going to need to actually bring it from elsewhere. And I think that can be one way of them eventually cracking it.
Okay, well, it's been a great weekend of football and still some results going on at the moment. Let's take a look at the WSL and what's happening. So you can see that one, it was 0-0 against Chelsea and Arsenal. It ended here 1-0 to Manchester City. As you can see, Aston Villa are currently 2-0 up against Everton. You've got a draw going on at the moment between Birmingham and Tottenham Hotspur. 1-0 to Brighton against Redden, and Leicester City are 2-0 up against West Ham. So interesting, Farah, when you look at some of those results, and surprising.
Yeah, they are. I mean, the Villa-Everton one. I know Everton have just sacked their manager, and they're in, a bit of a dark spell for them. But that's a massive result. 2-0 at home. Losing 2-0 at home to Aston Villa. I mean, for me, I'm looking at where Everton can go and who they're going to bring in. But that's the shock one for me. On the fixtures this weekend.
And Willie, we've got to speak about Everton right there. Losing 2-0 and the whole situation of what's going on at that club at the moment.
So disappointing, because we obviously had real high hopes at the start of the season. We recruited eight new players, and the big objective was to challenge for those Champions League spots. And there's been, obviously, I went, and then Jean-Luc's now went. So as far as says, where does the club go? Mm-hmm. They've got Chris Roberts and Claire Ditchburn in interim charge. They've got a number of players out of contract in the summer, so it's a real tough spell for them just now as a club.
But they have some quality players, like you said, the calibre of players that you brought into that team. To be losing at the moment 2-0 to Aston Villa also.
Yeah, against a team who are out of form themselves. Aston Villa are not in good form, and to be losing 2-0 at home, I'm sure will be bitterly disappointing for Chris and the players.
Okay. Farah, I can see your hands are shaking there next time, and we need to get you some gloves if you're going to be out in the cold. But just to wrap up on the events here today, and Manchester City deserving those 3 points.
Yeah, look, a very dominant performance by Manchester City, and to finish the game off with such a quality goal of such a high calibre from Caroline Weir was fantastic.
Okay, well, you can go off and get yourself a cup of tea now and get warm. Thank you very much for joining me, Farah and Willie. Well, it was ended here at the Academy Stadium. Manchester City 1, Manchester United 0. And actually, we're going to be doing it all again soon on the 27th of February. But this time, not in the WSL. It will be the 5th round of the FA Cup. We hope you enjoyed it. We did. And we'll see you again in a couple of weeks. Have a good one. See you later.
Ellen White leads City out today. Nothing but a win here will do in front of this sellout crowd. All across, what a miss. Will let fly, and it's off the post. And Toon will go for it, beaten away by Roebuck. She won't go for it here, Weir. She went for the chip again, and